Good evening, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Solstice Spin this evening. It's the first day of summer. It's a beautiful day here in SoCal, and what better time to talk rock and roll, especially when we have a guest as fabulous as we do. Before we get into that, I want to remind you that the Sunday Spin is brought to you by our sponsors. That's Grooves Records in San Francisco, Kevin Chanel, and of course, What's Left Records.
Wait.
719.
There
it is. And when you go, ask for the Employee of the Month, my man, Greto. Greto, before we get started, I want to congratulate you on the new single that came out last week, Melting Ocean of Fire. It is straight fire. It is the bomb. People check it out. You know where to find them. Greto, congratulations. You did it again.
Thanks, brother. You know, I just love making my music, but yeah, thanks. Getting a lot of good feedback, so it's good to be back in the hunt. But I can't keep up with some folks that I know around here, like the Wabash Cannon's just killing it. Nikki, what's up, girl? With the broken arm, punk
hey
rock.
Guys, yeah, here it is. Anybody watching? Let's see. Hello.
No, look at you.
Like a puppet. It's like a Dickie sock puppet.
That's great. Wow. So were you in the pit, Nick, when this happened?
So quick. I'll keep it super quick. I was at the Tower Bar, and it was Svetlana's and the Revolt Chicks, my girls, and I was right up there in front, and me and the girl from the Pictographs were going round and round, just having some fun. She was kind of swinging me around, and I kind of bowed out because I started to get this vibe like, ooh, this is getting a little rough. And I stood to the side, and she kind of misunderstood what I was doing, and she thought I was playing. So she grabbed me to come back, and I went down on my elbow. I will spare you the really, really gory details, but my arm was very dislocated. My bone broke off. Tendons broke off. So surgery last Friday. I'm about another 4 weeks in this huge device here. So we'll see.
Well, we're glad.
Nikki, you're still rocking.
But I'm still rocking. I played a gig last weekend. I got a gig Saturday night.
I know. Yeah, we want to hear more about that at the end of the show for sure, Nikki. Tower Bar, right? So
Tower this week.
But guys, yeah, we got a killer guest today. My man Dan, one of my favorite bass players and killer bandmate. And we're going to bring him in right now. He's been putting out a lot of cool records, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the old punk rock days, because that's when we are all from. And without further ado, your friend, my friend, Mr. Danny Stewart.
Hola.
Yeah, Dan the man, what's up, my brother?
I want to hear the tales of Twisted Arm and
yeah, we gotta go big to start.
I want the whole gory details, all ugly 9 yards of it.
Oh, dude, it wasn't pretty. How are you doing? Nice to meet you.
Yeah. What's up, Dan?
Hey, guys.
Thanks for joining us, man. First day of summer. How's it treating you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know the story. You hear it every time I go to football. Either I'm like too much work, too little sleep, or too much thought, or wait, even better, like go to Steve Bader's with too much to dream last night. So, but it's just incredibly busy. So it's funny you just bring up a bunch of weird stuff, and I just was texting Chuck Snow because I'm still trying to gather the last puzzle pieces to this last comp record. Do you like my mystique, my shadow?
You're shadowy. Yeah.
I hate overhead lighting. It's my least favorite kind of lighting on the planet. But so anyways, there's like we're piecing together all the pieces for the last end of this second compilation. And in the process, he sent me over some stuff, some flyers. I'm looking at them like, wait a second. Well, hey, did you release all this shit? Because it was older tunes. And if I don't know if you Glenn knows it, but you other two don't. So I don't know was a band in Colorado Springs for a while that played and spurred from the Sids and some of their like kind of punky new wave-ish kind of influence as well too. So they kind of had for a while they're like kind of REM-ish kind of sound. I hate to have to pinpoint somebody this summer, but just kind of gives you a reference point. So they do have like a 7-song from one of the songs that it's on this comp that I was like listening to. I was like, shit, well, I see you have more. I go, has this been released? And he said, on cassette. I go, so vinyl wise? He goes, no. I go, okay, I'll talk to you later about that. So on top of everything else, I'll give you guys a second to hit me with some questions, and then I can done babbling for a moment. So this comp, the second one, and we've already gone over, I don't think we went really extensively went over the first one because we pre, and then now it's post.
Yes, exactly.
Second one, there's just been a lot going on in between all that as well. So on top of like before I got the Sixth Sense record out, I got the Incest Cattle record out, the Night Gallery Idle Hands split record, and then I was working on the comp. So then that came out, and now I've got like 929 that was on the first record, and then I'm working on another band Vex's stuff, and eventually I'll get the Creep shit out as well too, because that needs to be out. And in fact, I'm waiting on a friend to cough up a tape. Hopefully she has shit that I need.
What an archivist, Danny, you are.
I feel like it's an insane asylum party, and while the world just keeps spinning one day after another. So every day I wake up, I go, great, it's another day to create more shit in this world. So I'll be that the other night by making some posts on Facebook, because apparently nobody has a sense of humor on Father's Day. So
no. Or Record Store Day, Danny, for that matter. We'll get into that too later.
I'm aiming on that baby right now. I've got it already in focus.
Oh, so funny. And Danny, I love your Lord of No One's Church. That's we've had some interesting titles for our guests, right, Vinny? I remember too, Vinny's had some great name back in the day.
Yes, you name it, right? Yeah,
weren't
that Magic
Berle
Square's got a lot of mileage.
Vinny, weren't you Milton Berle at one point?
No, I was Murray Amsterdam, DAMN. Yeah, but yeah, Eric Estrada. Gosh, you've had a few yourself. It's the incognito game, and yeah, it's always interesting what people put in that bottom banner.
That's so funny you brought up Eric Estrada. So you know the whole punk episode they had with the band Pain or whatever. I forgot the name of the band.
Yeah, it was Pain. You're absolutely right.
I think Pain. So a bunch of us were sitting on Melrose Avenue waiting for the bus to come by, and lo and behold, right across, going the opposite direction, we're on one side of the street, he's on the other side of the street. There's Eric Estrada and his Rolls Royce convertible, and all of a sudden we started screaming, "Ah, yeah, punk! I fight punk! Ah, I dig Pain!" He just started laughing.
That's great.
It's truly a classic episode, Danny. I'm glad you brought it up, because not only is Eric Estrada doing his, roller disco, cooling the gang thing at the end, but Susan Richardson from Eight Is Enough sings a Beatles cover.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because she got.
Oh gosh, way to tie it all together, Vinny. Really,
yeah, Little Child, I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, what a great episode.
Awesome.
You never know what you're going to talk about on the spin, do you, G?
Well, you say one thing, and all of a sudden it's a rabbit hole of events. So, I'm lucky my name's not Alice, so we'll leave it.
Oh, Danny, you always have really good stories, Danny. And a lot of it does stem from just talking about one thing, it leads to another, and all that. And I know, Danny, like for you, music's been a part of your existence, for decades now. And now you're kind of looking through the rear view mirror, but you're also, not just doing that, you're doing new music and stuff as well. And so playing a mean bass guitar. I want to say one thing about Danny. Danny, do you like performing? I want to ask you, because you're a bandmate, but Danny has like some of the most enigmatic, amazing stage presence for a bass player. As you guys know, sometimes bass players take that gentler route, and God bless them, especially like the Joe Lallies of the world and stuff that just kind of hunch over the drum kit and just kind of very stoic, the Adam Alcorns of the world. But Danny takes it to town, drink in hand. I've seen a near disaster almost a few times. Danny, talk about just playing live. What does it do to your soul?
The one thing you'd never see me do is sitting at the bar getting drunk before we play.
That's true.
That is golden rule number one of no-nos. Because
agree.
as much as my brain is full of what we have to do and how to do it, and try to do it with absolute perfection, but then you get into the wabi sabi thing of things where there's an imperfection to your perfection. So it's the glorification of imperfection, but I want to be as solid as I possibly can. And you also notice too, I always play stage right.
Yes.
And when you're watching me set up my shit, if you're being that, you know, intense of what I'm doing, the stage is always clear of anything around me. So again, I call it baby child-proofing the stage, because once I start playing, all hell breaks loose in kind of either a very unique fashion, sometimes a little more crazier. It depends on the size of the stage. It depends on a lot of things. Let's take the Stargazers, for instance, how I wanted to wrap my thoughts somebody's neck for a bad, but make the best of the situation, even though it was the worst of the situation I could, but still at the same time to put out everything I could possibly put out. But then at the same time, I disconnect myself from everything too. And I've also been, I hate to be the one to describe myself through somebody else, but here you go. Someone once described me as a caged animal. So it's just like that short, you didn't have that much room. You got a 2x4 cage or something that you've got to move around in. So
it's one of those things, like for Vin and Nikki, it's like, imagine like you practice with a bandmate, and like at practice, they're just jamming, learning the songs and stuff. But then like when showtime comes, it's like showtime for them. It's like being a drummer. It's like, what am I going to do? I'm not Phantom Slim or whatever. I'm standing that way. I mean, sitting back there, but other people have opportunities to take advantage of being comfortable on stage and doing different things. And like, yeah, Danny, totally different animal when he gets on stage. And I love that. I remember the first time we played live together, it was just like, whoa, look at this dude, look at this guy. And like, yeah, just every time he brings that energy and that 110%. And
Danny, do you interact with everybody? I'm kind of learning. I'm the newbie. So my just quick background. So I'm a little bit seasoned, older, and I started my music career here in the last couple of years. So I'm learning how to be on stage. I'm the singer for my band. So I'm really getting more into like interacting with the guys. But I don't know, not everybody loves that. How about you, Danny?
It's more of your show. So you're playing as a whole, but you're also like the individual of that show as well too. So like you're a circus within a circus, kind of like a Circus Olay. There's all this shit going on, but it's all one big thing.
Yeah.
Like your presence as a singer and stuff is like, I don't care what anybody else is doing. That's their business, because I got my own shit show to deal with. And the way I play and what I'm doing and stuff, and I'm watching out for it. I get my feet tangled up in the cords all the time. I'm always pulling the cord out of the pedals and whatnot. But it always gets back into time. So I'm not a great loss for the panic of like, oh shit, what's gone wrong now? I expect it. So it's no great interference to me, other than it's an inconvenience. I got to stop what I'm doing and plug it back in. Sure. But the thing is, the singer, you're a whole nother animal in the band, and a whole nother element, that because you're the voice of the band, you're also the presence of the band, and you also mean the most dynamic part of the band. I mean, everybody else can be dynamo out 110% over you, but you've got to also beat that too. Don't let them outdo what you do.
That's awesome.
I've shot.
I like it.
I've shot some. One of the bands I shot that had a girl singer, a female singer, was Texas Terry. Holy Jesus Christ, that fucking girl had presence.
Yeah, cool.
Upon presence, with presence and presence. And
Texas Terry, I'm gonna write it down. I don't know him.
Yeah, Texas Terry. Yeah, and if she had herpes, yeah, it'd be even more presence for everybody else. It would be the gift, because she had that kind of presence on the stage that I was just like, that right there captivated everything that I could ever want and ever see in somebody. It was just like the whole show. I shot probably a couple hundred pictures of her for their set.
Oh, that's cool.
But Yeah, she is amazing. And then we also we had a couple small chats afterwards because I saw 2 nights in a row. Some friends of mine were running this part of what was left out of the waste. I think it was the wasted gigs or something, or the part of that thing in 2005. It was supposed to be some like big event that kind of fell apart. So it ended up being Texas Terry, the TV Smith and the Adverts, and the
Wow.
Old and somebody. Oh yeah, the Anger Simones. That was the the clencher of it tonight. So we'll get into the other part of something else we had a discussion about later, Glenn. But yeah, it amazing. Again, another great one is Penelope Spear or Penelope Houston from
the Avengers.
She's got a beautiful presence as well too. So
Amazing.
You have to make it for yourself.
For sure.
Where your comfort level is and where you want to be and stuff. So is it CJ that plays with Aaron's
Who? CJ?
Yeah.
From Prefab Soul, Bad Night for a Hero, CJ?
I think so. Yeah. He plays with Aaron's son.
Owen?
Yeah, with Owen.
I mean, they have, but I don't know if they're doing anything right now.
CJ was at the coffee house one night, and I walked in and watched him and said, fucking cool, great. And I walked up and said, what you need to do next time in an event like in where you're playing is like start kicking tables over. Make a disturbance.
That's funny, Danny. You said
drinking a coffee, captivated. What the fuck's going on? And like, holy shit, disturbance. Then they'll start paying attention. So you have to kind of like, you have to find if your audience isn't paying attention, create a disturbance.
Right.
I mean, there's all these great golden rules of being the singer and stuff, and what you can do and how you can probably, push the audience, push buttons and stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to get punched either.
Sure. And I would add to that, and by the way, great answers, Danny. I mean, you hit the mark on every one of those. In Nikki's case too, though, she's saying she's a singer, and she's a fantastic singer, but she's left out a lot of that puzzle that makes her such a great artist. She's writing her own songs, and she's really leading a band. And Danny, you brought up the best point about that is when it all comes down to the brass tacks, if your lead singer can't hold the crowd, the rest of the band suffers. And Nikki, you have that gift.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Think about some of those bands that make lots of money. Like here, let's put in, for instance, New Order. Like I saw them play at Red Rocks with Public Image and the Sugar Cubes. I'm like, this has got to be the most boringest band I've ever fucking seen.
Love it. Don't hold back, Danny.
Another like, God, could you be any more boring? Your music is beautiful. Show something to it. Dance around. Swing from the rafters. Do something. Just sit there and I get the point of singing it, but I also get the point of like you're the entertainer as well too. Not that you have to be the entertainment. So there's the dynamic of that has to work through all that as well too. And again, it all comes from like again the season part of it, getting more shows under your belt. Mm-hmm. Crowds, figuring out how to work the audience, because that's what you're almost like you're almost like a snake oil salesman.
Absolutely. So it's a show. That's why they call it a show, right? And no one wants to go there to watch you be boring.
Oh God, no. Yeah. If you want to be beyond that, and then all of a sudden backs turned on you, or the best one was Justin Sullivan from the New Model Army was playing up in San Francisco at the DNA Lounge.
Love them.
They did this semi-acoustic setup there, and Justin stops the song like dead smack in the middle of the song and goes, San Francisco, what a great place, bars, great place to meet. Yeah, if you want to have a conversation in another bar. It was just like, whoa, yeah. It just ended up like everybody like turned his back on it. But the problem is like, he wasn't there. It's an acoustic set. How much ruckish can you get out of it? You can get enough, but it's not like a live blaring dBs beyond your hearing can take at you, assaulting you and making you do dumb things because you're the slave to the rhythm of it. It's just you know, it's a different vibe. But it's also not a vibe where people are talking over it, and it's kind of, it's weird. And audiences are weird too, so you have to adjust to that as well too. And you got to adjust to the fact of playing for two people sometimes.
You're playing for two people. Wait, what?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You have to adjust.
Oh, when you are playing for
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All of a sudden you think you have an audience, and then all of a sudden there's two people watching, and you're like, wow, okay, where did everybody go?
But, 2 or 200, right? Isn't that the rule? 2 or 200.
Yeah. Play the same.
That's what I keep being told.
Bring the same energy and enthusiasm. Be all right, you know. Well, I mean, too, for bands, you know, you do so much time preparing, you know, practicing and stuff. It's like when people go to a performance, they don't understand that usually unless they're in a band or doing something. So yeah, a lot of preparation goes into it. So you know, kudos to all of us for still lugging our gear around. I mean, I'm 53-year-old dude with his drums, like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh
come
yeah,
on, you know, and these suckers, yeah, like another week getting loaded up again to play with Sam Vega, my friends from San Francisco. So I'm really excited. I wish you guys were going to be here for that. This band, like, we linked up about 10 years ago, and every time they come through, it's like gypsy folk, psychedelic rock. Two sisters front the band. But yeah, I mean, just an amazing quartet, musically speaking. They're just super intense. So we're opening for them. Super excited. Danny, you haven't seen them, have you? Sam Vega?
I've not. I haven't gone to a lot of shows in the last couple of years. In fact, it was like the only thing I went to was like the Rebellion thing last year.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've been through here though since pre-COVID. They're painters, so they teach art, and they're like amazing artists. So if you guys get a chance too, it's I think Baker Art Studios. Like, these girls are phenomenal, just gifted musicians, everything. I mean, just the art blew my mind. I mean, that's their main way of doing things. So yeah.
What was it? Sound Vega?
No, SAMVEGA, all one word. They do have their own website as well. But yeah, like, they put out about 3 or 4 records, self-produced. Nikki, they live in St. Helena.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You know, yeah, I know that. So like some of the same venues and stuff, they like play Bottom of the Hill and like a lot of really cool places in the Bay Area that you know very well. And so anyways, yeah, Dan, really excited to share the stage with you again. And but I want to know more about this.
Create some more problems.
Danny.
At least
Inquiring minds want to know, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to our buddy Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Yes.
I was going to type you back, but I don't know how to.
We were having trouble connecting.
Do it on the private message, I think you can.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Or maybe that's just us. But yeah, Chad, thank you for your support. He's got an awesome show. You guys, headphones and microphones. Great, covering punk rock and really cool stuff. And then Pops, my dad. So he says, first day of summer, night rock steady. Thank you, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Good man.
Appreciate people tuning. Well, and two, this was kind of a spur of the moment show. So I mean, I know people saw that Danny was going to be on, so they're like, not going to miss it. In case they do miss it, though, Vinny, where can they check it out later?
Oh, well, dealer's choice, right? You can go to Glenn's Facebook page. You can go to the Sunday Spin Facebook page. But where we'd really like you to do is go to the YouTube channel. Check out Technicolor Dreams. All sorts of Sunday Spin past episodes. We got the art show. Stir the Pots on there. All sorts of goodies. And there are videos, too.
Please, like, subscribe and like. Danny's already done all this stuff. So Danny, this is all like, for Danny, this is all, you know, he already knows what's up. So Dan, we appreciate your time, man. But I want to know again, like, inquiring minds want to know. I don't have this compilation in my hands yet. I do have every one of the other releases, and I adore them. I think you spend a lot of time and effort putting together what record collectors want out of a package. You look, guys. But like the first compilation, just so Nikki and Vinny know, it's got like a book like this thick, like Maximum Rock and Roll style book in it with pictures, and each band gets 2 pages. Some bands, you know, talk about a history because, you know, a lot of this music's 30, right, Dan? 30, 40 years old now?
Yeah, 40 minus.
So
I'll-
yeah, it's a whole experience. You know, you sit there, put on the record, all these old bands. You sit there with the book and stuff and check it out. It's a whole experience. I love it. That's when I buy a record. That's what I want to do.
Jen, can I ask Danny a question about the production itself?
Sure.
Danny,
Oh,
sorry,
right.
I mean interrupt Glenn. Sorry about
No,
that.
you didn't, Nikki, at all.
I'm
No.
with the four screen here.
It is
So
mute.
how do you finance these? Do you just finance them yourself, or?
Oh Lordy, that's a deep technical question. That
It's
involves.
easy. He doesn't pay his electric bill.
Apparently.
I robbed the bank.
Oh, that's great.
I have a very lucrative job.
Oh, okay.
So it also means I'm also gone like 60 hours a week. On top of
Insane.
coming up, for the last couple of weeks, come up to Colorado Springs every Wednesday and working. So this is the first like 2 days I'll have off, but I work 5 days a week and I work 12-hour shifts.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I like to leave what I do out of it. I mean, some people know what I do. I just don't care to talk about, like, private is private.
Okay. I won't ask.
But also too.
Now I'm curious, but I won't ask.
Yeah, I pay for it, and I take nobody's money out of this. That way, it gives me the opportunity of just working on it solely. Instead of having outside influences. Well, I gave you $1,000. I think this,
Right.
and then argument. The only arguments I don't have, and I have discussions with my friend that does the printing who lives in LA, who's the infamous Slug, which is basically the punk Banksy, as we all joke around about, who's been doing covers for probably 20 years now. He's been doing band covers from Channel 3 to The Crowd to so on and so forth.
Awesome.
Probably what's a band from your damn it, I can't think of them right now. Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, I have some collaborators, but I do everything. So I do the collecting of it, I do the editing of it, I do the downloading of it, I do set it all up for mastering.
Yeah.
Mastering I don't touch because that is a whole different realm I don't have the ear for.
Oh, okay.
As I graciously call it the dark art.
It is the dark art. That's a good way to put it.
So I hand that over to Enormous Door out of Texas.
Okay.
A series of a whole bunch of everybody's records. So they know who I am and they work on me with a lot of stuff. But so the design I do, the layout I do, the from the record label to the dirty little messages I leave in the record. So what you're gonna get somewhere with something shitty in a record, which I've done that. But don't count it against me.
How about you said your art was Slug, right?
God, you guys all froze up. Hey.
We're
not frozen. You're frozen, Daniel.
Uh-oh.
He's frozen. That's okay. We'll improvise.
Oh, he is.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I hope I'm not monopolizing your conversation.
Nikki, come on, girl. You're killing it. Don't even go there, girl.
Well, this is the next step. So I'm trying to learn here. So
you're doing
are
great.
You back,
fantastic.
Welcome,
man.
I got cut off.
Oh. He's coming and going.
Yeah.
You there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
You're a little echoey. Dan, who do you press with?
Palomino Records right now.
Palomino.
Yep, they're just south of Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. They've got the best prices for the lowest runs.
Oh yeah. Important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody else.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, everybody has the money for you to press a lot because they're trying to get more out of you. Is the sneaky deal of it. But they're the obviously the one I found through, obviously doing a lot of research before I actually threw the money down for all this.
Sure. Yeah, we've been looking at Pirate Press, but it's a large run, is their minimum.
Yeah, see, I think they have like a minimum of 100.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
300 is pirate press and it's expensive.
yeah, and even 300 lot. So being that you guys are new, I would always run low, like 100. And then that way you could sell out everything without the fear of like you got back stock. And how do you give it to your mom as a present? You give it to your brother as a present. Hey,
Yeah, right. I got you.
It's one of them fucked up things because I'm still sitting on since that came out almost 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
500.
Yeah, behind me, you can't see, but on the floor we have these milk crates. My husband is also a musician, and we've got 20 years worth of vinyls sitting around here. But I mean, it's amazing to me that there's. I think it's just because he doesn't put them out there. I'm always like, dude, take them to shows.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm back. It's a small trip. So what was behind you again?
The vinyl. We've got lots of vinyl sitting. My husband also is a musician. So we've got he's a ska musician. And so we have ska from the 90s still. But it's like I was saying, I think it would move, but it's a matter of somebody's got to want to sell it.
Well,
that's the other thing I'm finding. I do everything. I sing, I get off stage, I sell t-shirts and
the merch. Yep.
I do everything. So
yeah.
Unless somebody will do it, it's not worth bringing it.
No, right. It's almost to the point like maybe you make like a little bill and you bring a couple of records with you, like a little thing to post up. Go, we have these for sale. If you're interested, come find me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard because I just gave a friend of mine a bunch of shit that plays in a different. Well, we played together in Sacramento, and they have another band called Shot out of Sacramento, and they did this. A party for the N Men, which are some notorious skateboarders out in Sacramento, so I told him, I said, you guys got a merch booth. I'm like, hey, idiot, why didn't you fucking ask me for records to sell? He's all, I go, you guys all have been in different bands. Why don't you push all that shit?
Exactly.
It's cool to walk
take it with you. People want it.
Yeah, if you go to something like that, then you should have like a wide range of merch with you. I'm not the best with it. It's taken me a while to get to the point of where I'm at with everything. Again, I'll let somebody else deal with shit and just like management and whatever the fuck, it's been a wild ride. And I was just talking with somebody today as I was getting some pictures framed. He was in a band, and he's like, well, did you ever, do all these things? I'm all, I didn't care for it. I didn't want to be on the road that much. I didn't want to have the stardom. None of that shit, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is just playing the music. I mean, Glenn, he's seen, am I the one standing there going, hey, did we make $100? And I was just messing with it.
Danny, you're going over contract negotiations about per diems.
Right.
Arguing for your, a roast beef sandwich with
that free beer.
Have provolone, right? And Vinny backstage with, his Heath bars and,
Yeah, my Werther's Originals, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
God knows what you're swilling down before.
I won't tell. Danny said we have our secrets, okay?
No, we don't divulge on the summer spin.
Yeah.
What a fun time, man. What a great way to kick off summer. This is the best.
The money's so the least of everything of what you do, because if you really think about it, it's like if you're in it for the money, then you're some slob like Machine Gun Kelly then. And road I ever wanted down anyways, and it doesn't that and then you're just a corporate whore, and then you're just nothing but fabricated crap on top of that. You might as well be an AI machine at this point, along with that discussion is going around as well.
Tell it.
Awesome.
I consciously think about what I'm writing and what I'm working on, and the sound of where it's going, not because of some machine can put it out, probably maybe better than I could, but the problem is all I did it without resistors and transformers and capacitors.
Yeah. The other day, one of the guys in the band said, "Hey, use this link and plug in, an idea, and it'll write lyrics for you." I was like,
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
I
was
got
so
turned to that on.
exalted. I was like,
Yeah.
It's
no,
amazing.
this is like heartfelt stuff. Like, I write about,
Yeah.
maybe not people's favorite thing, but it's what I feel,
Yeah.
I don't know. That whole AI thing, I'm with you, Danny. I think that's awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
It's kind of like
It is amazing though, Nikki, because it does give you, a background of just ideas. And I think if you take it in the concept of, okay, I like that, or I'm going to go a different way with this, I think if you treat it more in a suggestive form, rather than, hey, we can write your
Yeah, these are
song
our
for
lyrics.
you, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be a great aid. And Danny, one thing I want to mention is I'm a big fan of compilations, especially punk rock compilations. And the reason really is very simple. From Nuggets on down to today, they're always made with a lot of love.
Fuck yeah, Benny.
And yeah, and that cannot be denied. And I cannot wait to hear the compilation that you've got brewing. Really excited.
the great thing about that. I've given it to a couple of people for, here, grade this. Tell me what you think about it and stuff. And not to any horn in any degree is like the favorite thing I like hearing was, I think Colin wrote this and said, like, the whole thing about it was I didn't have to turn the volume up or turn it down. And that's where the mastering comes in too, because I make sure that, do this right. We don't have, so I think that the Maximum Rock and Roll, the first one, All Quiet on the Western Front, that I think that one had kind of like that flavor. You had to bump things up and kind of turn things down from what I've familiar.
Yeah. Especially when Bad Posture came on. Remember, that was the song "Goddamn Motherfucking Son of a Bitch."
That's right.
That was a good one. Sorry, Danny.
Some of those bands on it, I was like, they were to their region and to their region only, kind of like Nazi Bitch and the Jews. I'm like, and even then I was kind of like a setback from it when hearing it. I was like, I've heard a lot of things about that's kind of interesting. It was same token too. I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that when ripping through the country. You're like, hey man, Nazi Bitch Jews, she was fucking hot.
Oh man. I loved hearing that All's Quiet on the Western Front, and they have that international compilation too. I don't remember what that. Welcome to 1984.
Yeah,
God, that was so killer. Did you hear these bands like Raw Power and the Stalin and like these bands from all over the world? You're just like, oh my gosh, punk rock is astoundingly huge, and it's like the pyramids. It's like happening in these different places.
Isn't that weird?
Without the information being exchanged. It's like the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah.
We're so lucky that we were born.
Universal mind thing.
Yeah.
My lucky thing was like, again, I don't know if you remember, we touched on the whole fact about like how this all came about, or whether this was from the interview. My mind's I try to remember as much as I can sometimes, but I've got so many different things going on in my head. We're talking about how this all came about, and it came about as kind of an accident, because I was trying to get one of the bands like, hey, let's put your thing out, because I've got a tape you guys don't have. So the drummer was like, well, why don't we just make a compilation? I'm like, pooey compilation, come on, really? Well, and then I mean, that was the seed of the thought right there, and just after that it just like sat in my head and grew and grew and grew. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's absolutely fucking right. It's like that's what needs to be done. And in fact, to this day, I'm still chasing down one of the early bands from like early 1985.
That's cool.
With 2 of the 3 of the members, or 4 of the members of the band, of like trying to chase down whatever members left in the band that could be alive, still is alive. I don't know who's alive and dead anymore. They all seem to be dropping like flies left and right. But chasing him down to get this tape, that I'm like, come on. I send him pictures. I'm all, come on, you want to be famous, don't you, for about a half a second here, and here you go, you're on a record, just tapes, because you're driving me crazy with my OCD and the fact of like, I want this out there. I want it to be documented. Like this is a documentation of what it is. And someone called me like the historian and a curator for what was and to now. And okay, great with the grandiose titles and stuff, but I just want it out. And it's on everybody else, because that's everybody else's work. My only work is just getting it together, and the rest of it is a reflection of what everybody else did at that time, and put all that time and energy, sweat, pain, and tears and all that thing.
Yeah.
And I was able to like find tapes, and one of the bands just, they don't even have any tapes, and somebody wrote on Facebook, they're like, where did you find this? I go, it's been sitting in my box for 30 years.
That's awesome.
About that. I never listened to it because I didn't care less about you, and I didn't care less about your band. But guess what? I kept it, and I left it in a box for one day. Maybe I'll listen to it, and that day came.
Yeah, it's
presto. Oh, there we go. We've got a record that now is like a reflection of what was, instead of like it being like a fading word and a fable of some story of something cool that happened once in Colorado Springs. Now we've got that piece of PVC that says these things actually happened. And another guy in the band was like, now I can tell my daughter, yeah, this did happen.
Yeah. Well, and like from an outsider's perspective too, like, because we had our own little scene in Poway and stuff, and I would kill to be able to have the resources to put something like this together from our scene. But the coolest thing for me was selling them at the record store, especially on record store day. And some of my friends were in there that are from here, and they're like reminiscing about this band and that band, and like a couple of my friends. And it was really cool because it was just like I could relate on the level of the memories and stuff. But yeah, just a different scene that we had. But it was the same thing, like in Poway. We had there was music going on. And in fact, I want to congratulate the nephews, friends of ours that from Poway High that just celebrated their 40th anniversary. That's insane. And like a handful of bands are celebrating the 40th anniversary this year, the Melvins and also Guided by Voices. So it's crazy. But yeah, so 1983 in my life was a pivotal year as well. That was the year I started playing music too. My first band was the Delinquents, with Robbie Nefke, Missy Accarelli, and Vicky Lindros. Wow. So that was our little 4-piece band. And then we morphed into Outrage after that when we met Rob. Shout out to our man Fez. But Danny's, man, we could go on forever, my brother. We're going to have you on again for sure.
Oh, yeah, because we got some funny stories we need to rip through.
Oh, and also, too, just before we do go, we got to give Danny, you got to do your shout outs. But also, I want to mention you and Nikki were at the same festival, I know, last summer.
The Rebellion?
Yeah, the Jump the Shark.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I was there 20 years prior to that. It's Jump the Shark. That was too much.
It was a long 4 days.
Off was I went to jam.
There was some good stuff though. I mean,
I
love the new room.
I walked up to go see Sham, and I was turned around because the room filled up. 20 years ago, there was 3 rooms only, and there was no way that no one was going to get turned around.
You couldn't get into Sham?
No, could not.
Oh, we were right up front. I got a beer poured over my head, which they tell me in England is supposed to be like a sign if somebody loves you, but
yeah.
I think it's because I'm 4'10" and it's easy to dump a beer on my head.
All right, let me tell you some quick tips about beer and beer being thrown. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So the pistol show we saw in Brixton, in Brixton. So there's an outdoor show, and some friends were saying, people pee in cups and wing it at the band. And my friend and I looked at each other and went, ugh, really? So we're standing up there watching the Pistols, and all of a sudden beer went flying across our heads. My friend does the tapping, licks it, and looks at me and goes, beer. But
God.
But on top of that, So did you see the Professionals play?
I did not see the Professionals. No.
The Professionals. So both my friend and I were there for that, and that was 40 years later because we saw them in LA.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
So cool.
I was tempted to go talk to God, I can't think of his name right now. The singer who was the guitar player who's taken over for Steve Jones's position, but I was almost walk up and say, "Man, that was 40 years ago. We saw you in Hollywood play."
That's crazy. How cool though. I mean, I know it's tough. I just went to punk rock bowling a couple weekends ago too. And it's the same thing. You know, it's you want to, it's kind of like that last, you want to catch him. Maybe that might be the last time you're going to see him. I don't know. I don't know. I went and saw Susie about a month ago. Yeah, I see your kitty's like attacking you.
Hit the keyboard. Classic.
Jumping on the drum. Like the other day, he got the moon joke caught on his paws from the drums. He's just like, what do I do? What do I do? It's stuck to my hand. Sorry, that was great. That was real time.
Kitty.
I know, that's Ziggy.
Oh,
Dude,
hi, Ziggy.
She's not what she was. And the fact is,
you know, and it's kind of that bittersweet thing. It's like I never saw her. I don't know how I missed her all those years, but I never saw her. And then I'm glad I did. But you know, it was kind of sad. It was a little sad. It was, but I thought Sham at Rebellion was freaking amazing. I thought he had great energy. I loved how he was all. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures, but he just was like kind of trashed out. He looked like a homeless.
Awesome.
There's a lot of tales we can talk about Jimmy Percy later.
Yeah.
But I've heard him complain about like, oh, you want to hear this fucking song again? And you know, just
I know. Well, a lot of them have that attitude though.
But yeah, maybe it's his last hurrah. The fact that like, well, he finally came to his senses and like he's accepting that fact of like people still want to see this shit. Is like Billy Idol told a friend of mine when he handed him a Generation X 45 for him to sign years and years and years ago. He looks at it and goes, "You want me to sign this shit?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's better than the shit you're putting out now."
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a weird.
In the city tonight.
That's
But
funny.
no, the thing I saw her 10, 12 years ago in San Francisco under her Susie thing, not the Banshees. So
right. This was also Susie.
That was right on because it was present. So you're always looking at like what was, and you're going all the way back to Juju, Join Hands, and Kaleidoscope and stuff, and different then. So if you hadn't been, you know, properly drenched with the studio recordings to skew your hearing, then you go see her and you're like, wow, this isn't like what the records sound like. And that's the problem with that and the age thing as well, and her not constantly playing.
Right. She does not have a very strong voice live.
No, yeah.
Interesting.
No budgie, don't forget.
A recorded voice.
Heart and soul of the band, in my opinion. So Budgie,
yeah.
He was. A brilliant drummer, brilliant, understated, like, gosh, talk about underrated drummer.
Yeah, he saved the Slits, and I love this as well. The great thing about the Slits is you look at them and go, they're going to sound great, and you throw the record on, and it's all. My friend and I have this joke. It's like it's the record you listen to once every 10 years and put it back. The love is going to be great, and you're like, holy fuck, and then no, not today.
All the demos though with Palmolive are so amazing though. The Slits I love that band. The early stuff, especially all the early demos. Palmolive was still in the band before she joined. What was the band? Residents, I think, or no? Forget what she's. Raincoats. Formed that band as well. Both those bands. Danny, we could go on forever because that's that we roll.
I got another bottle of wine, so yeah, I could go on forever.
I want to have you back though. We definitely want to talk about some of the old scenes and stuff. And you were like in the LA and Sacramento scene, so very different than the San Diego scene that we were familiar with, and also the North, like San Francisco and Santa Rosa, right, Nikki? Santa Rosa, baby. Don't forget. Quezon.
Roanoke Park.
I was just
Tawny.
reminiscing earlier. Nikki, before we go, we want people to know more about your show.
Okay, thank you. I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Wabash Cannons, Saturday night, the 24th at Tower. We're gonna play second. It's a great slot, 9:30. And then we have a show on the next weekend with Doll Riot, who played at Punk Rock Bowling.
Cool.
So we're gonna play with them at a little bar, a little teeny tiny bar. So this is really cool. If people can make it out July 2nd, it's a matinee show at Bancroft. And after that, we've got another big show with a band called Toxic Madness. You guys should check them out.
Okay.
A young kid. He's 17 years old, and he is on fire. Like, this kid is exploding on the scene. I somehow made a contact with this guy on Instagram, and he's like, please book us in San Diego. We're going to be there on the 4th. So we're going to play with them and Grasney, Skullbusters, which is a legacy San Diego punk band. And my husband is in that band also.
Awesome.
So lots going on, and another Pumpkin Brews. So I just got called by the Doll Hut today in Anaheim. They want us to play too. So lots of stuff.
That's so exciting. Like, you guys have a lot of momentum right now. And
a lot of energy, a lot going.
CD out?
What was that?
Is the CD out now?
The CD is out. I haven't been advertising it much because this is another rookie move. Danny will understand. So as a rookie, I made some mistakes in the layout. So these have massive errors on the layout and some bad layout stuff on the back. So it's not even something I can hide. So I've actually been with one arm working for the last 2 weeks, cutting and putting new J folds in these damn CDs.
Go make.
Oh my God, dude. Anyway, but the CD's out, so I've been giving them away. I just give them away when we play a show. If anybody comes up, they can just have one. They're rudimentary.
Yeah, save a handful of them and then just like refix the rest of them.
I know.
I
will just for the sake of laughing later. I hope, because it's not funny now.
I'm already like, I'm getting ready to send these out for screens to get burned, and like I'm looking, I was like, wait a minute, what the hell did you do, dum dum? Who's this idiot working for me? Oh yeah, me. Shit happens, but this is also too. I work 12 hours, come home 13. Well, after half an hour, about 13, 14 hours later, sit down with a glass of wine and sit in front of the computer and basically fall in front of sleep of it. Like, my graphics work and wake up. Oh, whoa, what did I do? Did I save that? Oh shit. I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the problem, huh, Danny? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, classic. Russ never sleeps. Music is the thing that fuels not only the Sunday Spin, but all of our lives. And it's great that we're, all of us are in our 50s and still doing it. And I'm so encouraged by people like the Nephews and Fez and the Loons and all of our friends that are doing great music as well. And all these young cats like Colin Estes and people like that, CJ and the Ostro brothers. And so our community continues to grow and expand. Nikki, please send me some more songs so I can play them on the Groove Yard. Yeah. And Danny, I've been playing some of your tracks as well, a little bit of the flashback at the end of the show. So yeah, you guys tune in on Mondays, 6 p.m. Vinny loves the show. I know he's
my favorite show. I never missed it.
And the Spin, this Sunday I'm working at the record store, but I will say if we can cook up a guest, I'm glad to do another show if we can this Sunday. And then next Sunday, my friend Brian Tryon is going to be on the show. That'll be July 2nd, the day after our show, Danny. So that'll be fun times for us. And I think we're going to wrap it up after that, guys. But man, what a season it's been. And we're going to ramp up for some great things in the fall. One thing I booked, I wanted to tell you guys, was a cat, our friend Jay that lives out in New Jersey. His dad was in Imagine, which was like a Beatles cover band. We've never really had anyone from that, and he did it for a long time. So
Jay Hamilton, correct?
yes. So we're gonna have him on, Joey Ponchetti, Dave Markey, bunch of other people in the fall. But Danny, we want you back because you're just too good of a guest to let go. And we're really excited to see what name you come up with for next time, because that was a little ode to Stiv and the boys. And we still have to ask Frank too, our buddy Frank Sesich. We have to ask him, Vinny, next time we talk to him, why he wasn't included in Lords of the New Church. Man, imagine if that was a dual guitar.
That maybe.
Oh my God, Frenzy. What a great songwriting duo too, Frank and Stiv.
And belated birthday wishes to Frank as well. Glad the health is better, and keep doing what you do, Frank.
Dude, Frank is like one of the most gracious people for the amount of work that man has done, and he's about to put out a second book. It's astounding. So he's like Danny. He's one of these energized bunnies. Nikki too. And Nikki, the cool thing, that the edge that you've got, I was thinking, you always talk about you're a newbie, this and that, but you cut your teeth way back in the day jamming with like Outrage, people like that, and a bunch of other things. Also in college you did stuff, and then also like the people that you admire as front people are all like gold. So like it's not going to be hard. Like, girl, come on, you got this. So yeah, keep doing what you do. We're really excited about the summer that the Wabash Cannons are going to have. And Danny, you're the man. So did you get through all the wine, or where are we at?
Well, no, I still got another bottle upstairs.
Okay. Well,
just remember, Nikki is all attack. Always on the attack.
Always on the attack.
Oh, we're going to use that. That's a catchphrase.
And as Lemmy would say, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. We wanted to say again, shout out to the faithful. You guys, we've been on an hour and people are still commenting. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. My dad says, great show, you guys. Greetings from Oregon. So thank you. And yeah, people are tuning in. Danny, inquiring minds want to know. So we're going to have you back on in the fall. And when this next compilation's out. And really excited about it. So, and my gang with the Sunday Spin, I'll send you some of these files so you can check out some of these groovy bands from Colorado Springs. But wouldn't that be cool to put out a Poway one? We got to talk about that.
I love that. Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Well, everyone, be kind, be good, be yourself. Vinny, you want to say any last final words, my brother?
No, just it was great seeing you guys here on Solstice Day. We'll see what happens Sunday. In the meantime, man, all three of you keep doing what you're doing. You're all inspirations.
Danny, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Nikki, get that arm better, girl, but keep rocking. We appreciate you guys. Sunday Spin. We might see you Sunday. If not, next Sunday for sure. All right, you guys. Love you. See you next time.
I love you guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Nice meeting you.
Yeah. First day of summer party. All right, I think we're off the air, so. Awesome. Danny, thank you for your time, my brother.
I'm off.